Woody, talk to me about microdosing.
I've been waiting to talk to you about microdosing. All this stuff.
All right.
Try not to interrupt. Dude, so last week on the show, I guess I opened up a little bit about just not having a lot of joy in my life and no good reason, right? I've got a lot of things going right. A lot of people would trade places with me. Why the fuck aren't I happier? And the guest is like, you should microdose, bro. It will just flip your happy switch and change things up. And that's kind of where the idea was planted. So you're microdosing now?
Yeah. So I, I've always had like body image stuff. I look in the mirror and I don't really like myself. Like I have a objectively great life, right? I have a great job that most people would fucking kill for. I don't have any financial issues. I don't have a lot of like external real stresses. I mean, I work really hard, but and I work long hours, but I enjoy what I do. So it's not, objectively there shouldn't be any reason, but I don't always feel so good. I feel sad. I have self-image issues. And so, my physician, who doesn't really know me that well, I see him once a year and he looks at a chart, but he's a nice guy and he means well. And so I quit smoking weed a year ago in August, and I hadn't smoked weed. And what happened when I quit smoking weed was, Kyle, we're talking about microdosing. And when I quit smoking weed, I started drinking a lot more wine. And I fucking love wine. I love wine like I love watches, cars, and other kind of shit. I want to try the new wines, and I don't think I'm an alcoholic. I wasn't getting sloppy drunk. But I put on like 40 pounds from drinking all this fucking wine since I stopped smoking pot. And so that made me feel really depressed that I was getting fat off of this wine. Plus wine is a depressant in itself. So my physician was like, you need to be on antidepressants. And I was like, I know you're a professional, but I don't really think I need to be on antidepressants. And he goes, and I see a therapist once a week. I have been seeing a therapist for like 10 years, but they've never prescribed me anything. So he goes, I want you to see a psychiatrist. And he kind of threw some shade at my therapist. He's like, a psychiatrist is like a therapist with a medical degree. And I was like, ooh, burn. But so I went to see this kind of hoity-toity psychiatrist in Beverly Hills. And he's pretty well known. I looked the guy up. There's a lot of media about him in the past. And we did a 2-hour session where I went through my whole fucking life under the premise of this physician says that he thinks I need to be medicated. And I don't necessarily think that's the case. But here's my life. Here's how I feel. Here's who I am. And at the end of it, he goes, I don't think you need to be medicated. He goes, people who need to be medicated have a chemical imbalance that causes their moods to be certain ways, and that balance can be fixed with medication. He goes, you don't have a chemical imbalance. What you have is a self-image problem. And he goes, that is like learned. That's not like that's not a chemical thing. That's something that you taught yourself to hate yourself. And he goes, you need a reset of your baseline. And he goes, have you ever considered microdosing? And I said, no, I'm familiar with the concept. I ate a lot of mushrooms in college, but I did it to trip balls, not to microdose,
not for mental health.
and so I hadn't really thought, I hadn't given it much thought. And he goes, look, I can't legally prescribe you psilocybin, but you seem like a resourceful guy. Yeah. I recommend you look into this because I think it could help. And people that have PTSD or certain types of depression or trauma are often very helped by microdosing. And so, okay. So I found I did some reading and I found myself some mushrooms and I did 2 days on, 2 days off for a month. And I simultaneously quit drinking wine for the month.
Did you come up with that schedule, or is that like?
Yeah, there's not an exact schedule. Some people do it 5 days on, 2 days off. Some people do it every day. Some people alternate days.
How much?
It's like 100 to 150 micrograms.
Oh, okay.
It's not a lot.
Okay.
You're not supposed to feel anything. If you actually feel them, you are eating too much.
Taking too much. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
And
sense.
so it's a very small amount. Like a quote dose is 1.5 grams, and this is like a 100th of that. So it's small.
It's not a 10th. Am I wrong?
Is that a 10th micrograms?
Yeah,
you're. I'm sorry. You're right. It's a 10th. I apologize.
Okay.
Fucking metric system.
Yeah, it's incalculable.
Yeah, no, it's 100 to 150 micrograms is the dose. So, the combination of not drinking for a month and doing the microdosing. Now, I did them at the same time, so I couldn't really credit the microdosing 100%, but I really did start to feel a lot better. And
over what period of time? Over the month, or by day 2? Were you like?
No, not by day 2, but like by the second or third week, I really did notice a difference.
Okay.
And I just stopped having these kind of self-defeatist thoughts. I didn't get like super cheery, but I did start to feel better. And so since then, I couldn't keep off alcohol 100% because I do like wine once in a while. So now I have wine one night a week, maybe 2, but really more like 1. And I've continued. I did a month off of the microdosing after that, and now I've gone back, and I found out that in Oakland, California, it's legal. I mean, psilocybin is legal, so you can buy, just like you can legal weed here, really well science made psilocybin stuff. So I've got gummies, I've got like liquid mushrooms, so I don't have to actually find mushrooms, and eat them. Yeah.
Back when you were doing it the underground way, is there a scale that does micrograms? Did you have to go out and buy a special microgram?
Amazon. It was like $25. Yeah.
Because I don't think my food scale does micrograms.
No, it's like there's just, you can, if you just like type like microgram scale, like you'll get a digital scale that'll do it. Yeah. Yeah.
And then did you like
$20?
Do you kind of grind it and then put it in?
You can grind it, or you can just break off little pieces. Like the range, it was 100 to 150. So I would just break off little pieces until I got into the range.
Okay, so it's not so small. It's like 6 pieces.
No,
of salt
no. It's not that small. It's like I don't think like pencil eraser sized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can break it off with your hands or like a small scissor.
Yeah, just target 125-ish or something. A little high, a little low.
Yeah,
whatever.
and I made a little list. So it was like day 1, 112 grams. Day 2, 100.
You just down it like a pill.
Yeah,
kind of like some water and
some water. Yeah.
Okay.
When you said microdosing, I thought you were going to talk about LSD. I didn't think it was going to be much.
No, psilocybin. Some people do it with LSD. Also, I don't fucking know.
Have you ever done LSD?
I have in college, like 20 years ago. I haven't in a very long time.
I got an Uber today. I was returning the U-Haul, and traffic was bad, so we ended up chatting for a while. And he was like, "Yeah, man, I used to be in the disco scene," and and he started talking about.
That's a funny way to open up about drugs.
Oh, we were already well into the drug talk, but now it was time to talk about acid. So he had to introduce that in its own way, and he talked about all the people he saw. He talked about all the like huge bands he saw live, and like what an experience AC/DC was on like 3 hits of acid in the 70s or whenever the fuck it was.
Oh my God, that's fucking intense.
Dude was rad. He was a gray hair, like maybe 65, like big gray beard, and like fit. I don't know. When I got out of the car, he's like, "Well, I'm gonna miss you. You were fun to talk to."
You're like, check out my YouTube channel, bro.
I
get his numbers. You made a friend. Yeah.
I mean,
you made a microdosing buddy.
I sent him.
He seems like
that guy's the plug, dude. That guy's got the hookup for sure. I went to
he was
4
puffing
nights
on
Pearl
something
Jam in May, and I ate some Molly at one of them, and it was fucking lightful.
I've never done that.
Oh, Molly's the greatest. I mean, it is the greatest.
I did it in college a couple times, and it was a lot of fun.
It's just it just makes everything fucking awesome.
I took a decent amount of Molly. Like Skrillex was like really huge at the time. In like 2010, I was in college, and he was the guy. He came to Mizzou, and like me and all my buddies were rolling on Molly, and like it was the most fun concert I've ever attended in my life. Like, you know, like you see the front stage and there's the big horde of people having a great time dancing, doing whatever, and then there's those absolute lunatics who are tweaking over to the side, just dancing on their own. I was that guy. I was that guy up in the front, not even cognizant. Like people,
do you get
like,
rough?
Remember to drink water. No, not rough and fit. You're just enjoying the music, enjoying the vibes. You're doing your own thing.
Oh, I just meant you in particular. I just feel like, especially the you of today, I feel like you could be a rowdy gentleman in the midst of like a mosh pit or something somewhere. Like you'd be that guy who could really launch somebody.
No, I'm not a mosh pit person. Like this was more of an everybody having fun. And I was off to the side dancing with a few other people who had taken too many drugs. I can't
imagine the combination of Molly and moshing. I don't think
that would be too aggressive.
Provides the right energy for moshing. You need an angst that Molly wouldn't let happen.
I moshed once. It was Warped Tour 2008. Got pickpocketed and never did it again. $50 is a lot in high school.
Dude, moshing got out of hand. I went to some fucking metal show in high school, and someone was in the mosh pit in golf cleats. And I was like, oh, wow, you're like actually here to hurt somebody. Like, okay, I think I'm done with this now.
Yeah, that guy's a real piece of shit. Like, not even there to like buck up against someone. He's there to like break someone's toe sneakily. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You were talking about feeling down.
Moshing just does not appeal.